The Dessers thing, it was Mr. 90 minutes plus two. I think that was the nickname that he had at Feyenoord that season because he kept scoring, coming off the bench to score winning goals, big goals in the 92nd minute. I think it was about, it was 5 games or something. Where he's done the same thing. And Andy, I think, has got a point. Dessers is somebody, unless somebody comes in and makes offers funny money for him. You never know because he has a striker and he's got 45 goals. You just don't know.
If you looked at his highlight reels, you'd be like, this guy's incredible.
And by the way, it would be the most Dessers thing of all time, wouldn't it? If somebody comes in with some massive kind of fee from Rangers, I'm sure we'd be quite happy to do a deal on that front. But without getting anybody knocking on the door for Dessers, you would keep him. You just need to try and find a more reliable, first choice number 9. And I think that's, that'll be at the top of the list, whether it's Barry Ferguson or whoever it is that's in charge of that team at the start of next season. And again, we've mentioned about this, Daniel. Time is of the essence here. It's marching on.
Yeah.
So, I know that Rangers have to get their takeover completed and and legally get it all signed off. And I know that Andrew Kavanagh, it's difficult for him to make any decisions until he's actually got the keys to the front door. But what you have to say is, at this point, you need to be starting the forward plan. You need to be looking, assessing the squad, saying, having conversations with players. You can go, tell your agent, find you start looking now and try and find a club because you're going to be surplus to requirements. All these conversations need to start round about this time of the year. They should probably have started already. And that's before you're even looking at targets, transfers, guys that you want to come in. I think in an ideal world, you would want to spend a bit of time doing the research properly, maybe going to meet people, have a conversation with them. All these things are vital. And if Rangers are, if they're not very careful in terms of getting behind the 8 ball here, they're going to end up in a situation where they're scrambling a bit for the start of next season. And you would think the American owners coming in, the 49ers, they want to make an entrance. They want to hit the ground running. But in order to do that, they're going to have to make some decisions. They're going to have to make them quickly. Yeah. And I'm talking about over the course of the next couple of weeks.
Look, I don't want to labour the point too much with Dessers, but we had an absolute truckload of comments in. And if you want to get involved in the discussion, please do so in the comment section below. So let me throw a couple of these at you, and then we can move on until Dessers does something next week or whatever. This one here, let me have a look. If I could find them, that'd be good. Andy Cairn says Dessers has scored some good goals, but he should have double that. On balance, we need someone who plays well consistently in the big games. Jason says he isn't perfect for every match, but he's a handful for any defence. Cannot argue with his goal return. Better player than Idah for me. And this one, I mean, honestly, there's so many. Rebel says I like Dessers and I'm not a Rangers fan. Rangers Easy OK says, I get what Andy was saying about Dessers and Danilo, but every time Danilo plays, he's a far better player than Dessers for me. Cannot have a striker miss 9 chances before he takes one. I mean, that's it in a nutshell, I think. I mean, 9 chances before he takes one. That's a lot of chances.
So there's a couple of things there, isn't there? Because if Dessers had a better conversion rate, how many goals would... I mean... honestly,
I know he'd have a goal every game, basically.
Maybe more than that. He's maybe if you tally them up, he's maybe missing 5 chances per match. Sometimes less than that, sometimes more than that. But it maybe probably averages out around about the 5 a match. Now, if he takes 2.5 of them, then he's doubling his tally of 45. It's phenomenal. So what does that tell you? It does tell you that it's the old Ali McCoy's one, isn't it? He will miss, but he's getting himself back into areas where he's going to sniff out a chance again. I think he's really frustrating I'm sure, for Barry Ferguson to watch that yesterday, because the game could have been you know, all right, they got themselves into a mess, but Dessers takes his chances in the first half, and Rangers are probably a couple of goals up by half time. So it is a total enigma. There's no doubt about it. There's also no doubt how hard he's prepared to work for his team. And I think that's why, in this situation, Barry Ferguson is going to him as his go-to man. You will lead the line because I can hang my hat on you in terms of the physical effort that you're going to put in. You're going to battle against centre halves here. You will put in that side of the dirty work. And I think that's why he's preferred to the likes of Danilo just now. I think Danilo's a more natural finisher, but I'm not sure he can lead the line in the way that Dessers can. And it's funnily enough, I remember doing an interview with Ronald de Boer because if you remember, they both signed within a few days of one another, and you think, where are Rangers getting this cash? You know, they're going to sign 2 number 9s. And I did an interview with Ronald de Boer about it, and he did say at that time that he felt Dessers was more suited to Scottish football than Danilo.
I remember that, aye.
What was it he said? He said, if Dessers, he says, Dessers can be very frustrating. If he has a bad game, he's a 2 out of 10. But he could have a good game and be a 10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. He says, whereas Danilo probably be a consistent 5, 6 or 7 out of 10. So, yeah, that's what you get with Cyriel Dessers.
Proven to be true, aye.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know how you change it. I don't know, you know, I'm sure Billy Dodds must be working with him on the training ground in terms of his finishing. And yet he takes that one in injury time, the crucial goal, the winning goal, he took it lovely. So, you know, how do you deal with a problem like Cyriel Dessers?
What about the comment there, he's better than Idah? You having that? I'm not sure I'd go that far. Very different players, though.
They are very different players. What I would say is, I'm not feeling the love for Idah this season. I think that, you know, he came in, he looked good when he came in at first on loan. He's playing below himself, beneath himself this season. He's had a real chance there when Furuhashi, when Kyogo moves away. That was his moment to step up and say, right, I'm Celtic's number 9. And he's let it slip on by. And that's what I worry. Sometimes I look at Adam Idah and I think, are you okay with that? Are you just a kind of shrug of the shoulders guy? You know, because he does seem to be. You know, whether it's in game or I'd love to get a little bit more life out of him, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
I think there's a real player. He's a real powerful unit. Brendan Rodgers thinks he's got all the attributes required to be a Premier League striker, an English Premier League striker. But you just wonder where's the desire? I'm yet to be convinced that he's really busting a gut.